I'm Jennifer Hasser with Kendore Learning, and I'm going to give you a brief introduction into the 6 syllable types. Okay, so we're going to talk about the 6 syllable types, and I think syllable types are actually so amazing. I didn't learn them until I was an adult, and I really wish I had learned them when I was a kid. So these syllable types help kids who are not natural readers to have a system to go through to be able to figure out what the vowels are saying in words. And so many of our kids, they're so confused by vowels because sometimes they say one thing, another time they say another thing, sometimes they're silent, sometimes they're bridge-y, magic-y, and sometimes they're just sitting there, that E at the end, and they have no idea. So when they have no idea and they have no systems to help them figure it out, they just guess. They just randomly guess, or they choose not to read at all. And in my experience teaching older kids, that is not a good thing. So what we want is for kids to learn this young and to learn it well so they can apply it and internalize it. It's not just a tool for the good readers. Okay, so the first type I'm going to talk about is the most common syllable type, and this is a closed syllable. So when you see a closed syllable, you're going to see the word, and it's going to help you read it. So what you're going to do is look for one. Do you see one vowel? I see one vowel. Is it followed by one or more consonants? Absolutely. So I would say the sound that that letter makes. A closed syllable, the vowel says its sound. Okay, and that's important because the sound this says is I. So if it was lap, it had A, it would be lap, right? And O would be lop. You would hear that I, ah, eh. Okay, so that is a closed syllable. It's extremely common. If we had lipstick, it would be 2 closed syllables. We'd underline our vowels. We'd know that we had, they both had single vowels followed by consonants, and it would be lipstick. Now, the open syllable is the second most common syllable type, and we teach that next. So here, if I have lip, but then I had this in front of it, then what I would do is I would look at my vowels and I would say, let me try and see if it's open. Tulip, and that would be a tulip. Because if I had wet, that's closed. Okay, we open. Okay, it says its sound. Wet, open, gets to say its name. Okay, that's an open syllable type. Then I have consonant-le, and consonant-le, not nearly as frequent, but pretty easy to teach. That's going to be your bull, dole, toll, gull. And if you look for it in a word, because we always want to look for these syllable types going down, because this is the most frequent, we're going to run into it more often. So if I see this word, I would look for a consonant-le, because it's pretty much going to come at the end, maybe followed by a suffix, but it's not a beginning syllable. So I would say consonant-le, count back 3. Do I have a consonant-le? 3, 1, 2, 3, and divide. That leaves me with my first syllable. So this is a consonant-le, which means it's going to be toll, dole, bull. Another reason why our blends shouldn't sound like that. And then this is a closed syllable. Okay, so little. That's going to help us read 1,000 different new words. Okay, so that's toll, dole, bull. Kind of get the picture, right? And it's more of a final syllable. Then we have vowel team, and a vowel team is really going to work exclusively based on what we were taught as vowel teams. So team is a vowel team syllable because it has EA in it and it says E, and this says OW and it says E. So this is vowel, and team would be 1 syllable. So vowel team, closed, vowel team. So that's why you always look for your vowels first, because it's going to help you to figure out what these are. Okay, so then we have E, and this is bridge E. And bridge E is sneaky E, magic E, silent E, whatever you call it, wherever you're at. If you have cap, you put the E at the end, the E gets to jump over and make it say cape. So even though it has 2 vowels, that's why you look for this first, so that it's not KP. You're going to try to see if it's cape. If that makes sense, then you're done. Okay, this is R controlled. Okay, we call it growling R, but it's also called R controlled vowels. So your R controlled vowels are E-R-U-R-I-R, O-R, and A-R. So here, this is cape. But if I were to add an R, now my vowels are there and there. Do I have an R controlled? I do. Okay, now I have 2 choices. This word, is it bridge E? No. Is it vowel team? No. Is it consonant-le? No. It might be open or it might be closed. So I would try it as open first. Caper. Have you ever heard of a caper? I've heard of a caper. So that would be a word. If I didn't know it, I might try it as capper, but it's really going to be what the child is familiar with. But since I know it's caper, then this is going to be open and that's going to be R controlled. So these are extraordinarily helpful tools. I hope you research these further and help your kids to master them. And remember to teach from the bottom up and decode from the top down. Have a great day.